You won't hear me cry, this I testify. Please believe me, boy, you know I would lie. You and me, nobody's baby but you and me. You and me, nobody's baby but you and me. If you love us so more than fame and gold, and our soul feels the same about you. It's a natural fact, there's no turning back. And here's my advice to you. You've gotta say it. You and me, nobody's baby but you and me. You and me, nobody's baby but you and me. If you love us over than fame and gold, and our soul feels the same about you. It's a natural fact, there's no turning back. And here's my advice to you. You've gotta say it. You and me, nobody's baby but you and me. You and me, nobody's baby but you and me. If the stars won't shine, if the moon won't bright, I'll never see the setting sun. You won't hear me cry, this I testify. Please believe me, boy, you know I would lie. You and me, nobody's baby but you and me. You and me, nobody's baby but you and me. You and me, nobody's baby but you and me. You and me, nobody's baby but you and me. You and me, baby.
Let's all be seated. Bit emotional because the page boys were the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life, so that's fine. Hello again to all of you, and a big thank you for being here today to witness and celebrate the marriage of Miranda and Rory. This wedding is going to be a celebration of all that Miranda and Rory are and hope to be. We'll be telling you all the story of how they came to be together. Milo will be sharing his reflections on life and love, and we'll be telling tales and anecdotes from friends and family about who they are separately, who they are together, and how they've grown to become the sensational couple that they now are. We know many of you have travelled a long way to be here today. Particular thanks to the Malone Browns from Sweden, Juliet from New York, and James and Sophie from Berlin. Thanks to all those that have supported in the creation of today in making the venue look so great. And finally, thank you all for the love, support and friendship that you've given over the years, leading to you being invited here today. And with special thanks, of course, to Rory's parents, Carol and Douglas, and Miranda's parents, Ruth and Tony. We were going to begin today with a ceremonial planting of chickpeas because, as the very well-known saying goes, something old, something new, something borrowed, something vegan, and it simply wouldn't be a vegan wedding without chickpeas. We forgot the chickpeas, we forgot the plant pot. We were then going to do ceremonial avocado, which we ate for breakfast. So we're instead, I think, going to go to Ashling for a reading.
Most importantly, love, by Rupi Kaur. Most importantly, love, like it's the only thing you know how. At the end of the day, all this means nothing. This page, where you're sitting, your degree, your job, the money, nothing even matters, except love and human connection. Who you loved and how deeply you loved them. How you touched the people around you and how much you gave them.
Thank you, Aisling, that was beautiful. So we'll start at the very beginning, a very good place to start, one for the musical fans. I know there are many of us here. As with all the most iconic love stories, this one started with tragic texting and good old MSN Messenger. So Rory originally fancied a girl at Miranda School called Harriet. The one that got away. Thank you so much for being here today, Harriet. So good to see you. Rory was trying to get her number, and what turned out to be a fantastic twist of fate, Matt Cook shared Miranda's number, and Rory ended up calling her for Harriet's contact details. So seeing a missed call from an unknown number, Miranda texted asking who it was, to which Rory replied, "It's Rory from GX." Now, I'll protect you. Had Rory said Gerrard's Cross instead, history may indeed have led this wonderful couple down a very different path. But as it was, this ultra cool abbreviation of the very, very middle class area of Gerrard's Cross to GX was indeed the thing that got Miranda's heart beating. What followed was a classic millennial courtship of months of angsty messaging back and forth and making dodgy first impressions. Rory's first impression of Miranda was that she was really pretty, a little intimidating, very freckly, whilst Miranda's of Rory was that he was quite arrogant, a little bit inappropriate, but also super friendly and warm. So first impressions aside, through the power of dial-up internet, they eventually made plans to meet up the two of them shortly after Miranda's birthday in April 2009, and the rest, as they say, is history. Those here today that have known Miranda and Rory, both individually and as a couple, often speak about how totally and beautifully their unique personalities chime and balance with one another. Both Miranda and Rory are excellent givers of advice, and as people that inspire such trust and confidence through their huge capacity for warmth and kindness, I'm sure many of us here today have turned to these two in hard moments and found in them abundant support, love and strength. And it's these qualities that form the foundation of their incredible relationship upon which they've built a partnership that's truly spectacular. We'll now invite Louis to do a reading.
I wish you'd not said all that.
I know.
If ever there is tomorrow when we're not together, there is something you must always remember. You're braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think. But the most important thing is, even if we're apart, I'll always be with you. Winnie the Pooh.
So we now return to the story of Rory and Miranda as awkward teenagers navigating their budding new relationship. It was only a few months into dating that they faced their first challenge as a couple, with Rory starting university in Liverpool and Miranda in Sheffield. But it was at that moment that both Miranda and Rory realised that in each other they'd found something big. Many people remark about how rare it is for couples to have been together from such a young age as the two of these have, especially through such years of growth and change between their teenage years into adulthood. This rarity is testament to quite how right for one another Rory and Miranda are, and speaks to the resilience and strength of their relationship. As similar as Miranda and Rory are in their values, loyalty and generosity of spirit, there are many ways in which they are completely different. And it's in this difference that the true strength of their relationship is clear. Rory has an unwavering belief that many things are possible, whilst Miranda, in her own words, thinks most things are impossible. Rory is a person of extremes, whilst Miranda is one of moderation. Rory likes structure and routine. Miranda lives life creatively and freely. Rory likes his Rory time, happy in his own company, whilst Miranda's diary is booked until February 2037. In these key differences, magic and balance is in their love, allowing space for each other to be their own spectacular person within the comfort and support of their relationship. Remarking on them as a couple, friends and family have shared how much they love how fun they are, how competitive they are, especially when playing games, and how silly they are together. Miranda's school friend Jenny had this to say about them, and for those that know Jenny, this is going to be quite shocking that this came from Jenny, because none of us know where this came from, but it's bloody beautiful, Jen. They are modest and humble in the glow of what is a unique and powerful love. I'm grateful to have had them to look to for all that is right in a relationship. Jenny everyone. Jenny the blooming poet. That was a direct quote, I can confirm. Rory's brother used the phrase "he" to describe them, which, for those that might not know, is a term that Miranda and her sister invented to describe things that have an inflated sense of seriousness, such as an animal in a top hat or an animal wearing a monocle. As much as we hope that their marriage is full of "he," may we all aspire to be more silly, joyful, and "he." We will now invite Emma to do a reading.
An extract from the hot priest from Fleabag. Love is awful. It's awful. It's painful. It's frightening. It makes you doubt yourself, judge yourself, distance yourself from the other people in your life. It makes you selfish, makes you creepy, makes you obsessed with your hair, makes you cruel, makes you say and do things you never thought you would do. It's all any of us want, and it's hell when we get there. So, no wonder it's something we don't want to do on our own. I was taught if we're born with love, then life is about choosing the right place to put it. People talk about that a lot, feeling right. When it feels right, it's easy. But I'm not sure that's true. It takes strength to know what's right. And love isn't something weak people do. Being a romantic takes a hell of a lot of hope. I think what they mean is, when you find somebody that you love, it feels like hope.
We now look at how Miranda and Rory grew from being a wonderful couple to choosing to spend their lives together as family. In sharing what they love about each other, Rory describes his love of Miranda's empathy, the fact that she's even cooler than he thought she was when they first met, how beautiful she is, and how she makes him laugh. Miranda loves Rory's positivity, determination, and the excitement he seems to muster up every day. Miranda loves how fun Rory is, how much he always lifts the spirits and confidence of those around him. I asked Miranda and Rory to tell me why they wanted to get married and what kind of marriage they would like to have, and they gave remarkably similar answers. They want to continue to challenge one another and support each other in their passions. They want a marriage that's silly yet sensible and reliable no matter what. In marriage, they want to formally become one another's family, a Lewis Brown clan, and it's this that led to their engagement. The story of their engagement is so quintessentially Miranda and Rory, full of joy, laughter, and things not quite going to plan, but being all the better for it. It was an evening like any other, when Rory pulled a ring out and, forgetting all the words he'd prepared in advance, when confronted with the significance of such a huge moment for the two of them, he asked Miranda to marry him. Miranda, the poet, replied, "Are you fucking with me?" and started hysterically laughing. Tears of joy followed, along with fancy food and the sharing of the great news with friends and family. It's in this way that Miranda and Rory bring such fun to innocuous, normal moments, whether it's proposing in the flat that they share or sharing Saturday morning vegan sausage sandwiches. Their ability to turn the ordinary into the extraordinary will make their marriage one of endless fun and laughter. Looking to the future, I asked Miranda and Rory where they see themselves in 20 years' time, and I'd like to share with you directly what each of them said. Rory said, "We'll be playing past the pigs with a couple of new Lewis Browns, Milo chirping away in the background. Miranda will get annoyed at the end of the game and ask why she can never win any games." Miranda said, "Rory will still be eating huge extravagant sandwiches. We'll be continuing to support each other in achieving what we want out of life and still playing loads of games, which will still involve me getting really moody because I'll be constantly losing to Rory still in 20 years' time. Milo will somehow still be alive and ruling us each day." The hilariously similar vision that they have for their future together shows how united they are in what they intend to build in marriage, and it's exciting to imagine the part that we will all play in supporting them in this journey. So here we ask for the commitment of everyone here today to support Miranda and Rory in their forthcoming marital journey. So let's all reply with a collective "we do" in response to our promises to them both. Do you all promise to support Miranda and Rory, sharing in their tears and laughter, their setbacks and successes, their challenges and joy?
We do.
Do you promise to continue to give your love, friendship and support to Miranda and Rory so that they may be strengthened by you, their community of exceptional people?
We do.
Thanks, everyone. We've reached the heart of today's ceremony, where Miranda and Rory will express in words their promises to each other. If you'd like to step forward and face each other, Rory, you want to go first?
Okay. Today isn't the start of something new. It's the continuation of our 12.5-year journey. Over that time, we've made and we've broken promises, and I wanted to list out all the things I promise I will do to make you as happy as you make me. But I don't want to make promises that I might break. And as things don't always go to plan, I want to set the bar a little lower. So, I can't promise that I won't restrict you when you want to get up early on the weekend. And I can't promise that I won't shout your name, Miranda, when you're wound up and we're shopping. I can't promise that I won't make jokes where you have to explain them to your friends because they think that I'm offended or that I'm being rude. I can't promise that I'll be any more organised than I am at this very point. I will double and I will triple book us to things, but I'll always do my best to make it up to you. I can't promise we'll get a cat anytime soon, and I can't promise not to wear your pyjamas from time to time and stretch them. I can't promise I'll ever give Charlie and Gemma their gift that's blocking the entrance to our flat. 2 years. But there are a couple of promises that I can make. I will religiously make our sausage sandwiches on Saturday mornings. I'll bring you cups of tea when I wake up before you. And I promise I will keep making us seitan and taking the bins out.
That's food, by the way. I don't know if that's clear.
I'll be at every gig, show, puppet show, jam session, whatever it is that I can. And I'll always be there to try and make you laugh when you're having a bad day. I promise I will continue to wind you up, but I also promise we'll keep having as much fun as we do now, and that we will continue to be the 3 best friends that anyone has ever had, even when we're in a swamp. I love you.
Rory. As you well know, I really love birds. I've said it quite often through my rhymes and words. My love for the feathered and avian creatures goes far beyond their bright and strange features. I love the proud way they show off their feathers. They treat them with care, their own unique treasures. I promise to cherish your own unique flair. I'll value and handle it with immense care. I love watching birds enjoy little things, like singing and eating and preening their wings. Just like the birds, you too have this trait. I promise to try and see things small yet great. We once saw 2 geese flying up in the sky, and you said to me, I want to know why, with the option of flight while you'd mostly swim. We then agreed geese were aggressive and dim. But now on that matter, I have a new take, as what we both need is often a break, to spend time just us and slow down the pace. I promise to give us my time and my space. I endeavour to challenge you, just like our strange pet, whose chirps are quite angry and often a threat. But unlike our parrot, I promise to listen and always attempt to understand your position. Our love feels quite old, but somehow still new. 12 years have moved slowly yet also zoomed through. You feel so familiar, I know you so well, yet you still excite me and make my heart swell. As just like the birds, you make me feel free. Being around you, I feel the best me. I promise to help you to be your best self, through good times and hard times, in sickness and health.
That hit quite hard, guys. Well done. Rory and Miranda will now validate the promises that they have made with the exchange of rings. Jenny and Hallam, if you'd like to come up. Rory, please take Miranda's ring, place it at the end of her finger, and repeat after me. As I place this ring on your finger,
As I place this ring on your finger,
I give you all that I am,
I give you all that I am,
and all that I ever hope to be.
and all that I ever hope to be.
Miranda, please take Rory's ring. Oh, you can put it on her finger.
It's a hot day.
Miranda. Please take Rory's ring, place it at the end of his finger, and repeat after me. I'll protect you. As I place this ring on your finger,
As I place this ring on your finger,
I give you all that I am,
I give you all that I am,
and all that I ever hope to be.
and all that I ever hope to be. Oh, now I do it.
Do you want me to do it? Hey. Bang.
Rory and Miranda, you have committed to making your one life together the very best that it can be. You've formalised this bond between you with your spoken vows and the giving and receiving of rings. So it now gives me enormous pleasure to pronounce you husband and wife. If people want to kind of hang around here for a little bit, I think the groomsmen are going to direct you into a bit of an arch so we can do some confetti throwing. So if you look to these three handsome gentlemen, they'll sort you out. Thank you so much, everyone.